morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to go through our introduction and goals for our clauses unit. The goals of this unit go like this. We are going to read a sentence. We are going to locate the clauses, and we are going to identify them. Then we are going to read sentences and classify sentences based on the number and types of clauses found in that sentence. And if you're following along at home, this is in Chapter 4 of your textbook. When we get done with this unit, here are the things that you should be able to do. Look at the sentences that we've got here. Let's start with the first one. The first sentence reads like this. It says, Twiggy watches from the corner. All right, so if we are looking for clauses, I have a subject here, Twiggy, and I have a verb here, watches. That makes this a clause. This entire thing is just one independent clause. Let's look at the next sentence. Then she pounces on the string because she is practicing hunting pythons. Let us find the subjects and verbs here. We have a subject here. We have a verb here. This is an independent clause because if I wanted to, I could put a period right there and I would have a complete sentence. Because is a word that starts a dependent clause. Here is my subject. Here is my verb, which makes this second half that goes like this, and then like this, and goes all the way down here. The second half is a dependent clause. It happens to be an adverb clause. And because I have one independent clause, and I have one dependent clause, that makes this a complex sentence. Okay, last one reads like this. In her dreams, Twiggy packed her bags and then she moved to Alabama to become a famous celebrity who can wrestle alligators with one paw tied behind her back. Here we go. We've got subject and verb like that. And if I wanted to, I could start here at Twiggy and I could go all the way to bags and I could put a period and that would be a complete sentence. However, I also see that we have a comma and a fanboy. And in this instance, this comma fanboy is connecting it to another independent clause that starts with she and moved. How about that? Then I continue to look and I see the word who. Who is a word that starts a dependent clause. In this instance, who is acting as the subject. So here's my subject. Can wrestle is the verb. So the dependent clause is who can wrestle alligators with one paw tied behind her back. So I've got an independent clause. I've got another independent clause. And I've got a dependent clause, which makes this a compound, complex sentence. Whew. Got all that? Good, because when we are done with this unit, you will be able to do this kind of stuff in your sleep. Let's get a definition of claws. Claws are the things that Twiggy uses to snatch pterodactyls out of the sky. Don't believe me? Here is some proof. Look, this is Twiggy watching for pterodactyls. This is Twiggy wondering why she hasn't seen any pterodactyls. This is Twiggy getting ready to eat a great northern Wisconsin miniature pterodactyl. Claus is the guy that Twiggy waits for under the tree to bring her new toys. See? It's Claus waiting for Claus. Seriously, what else am I going to put in this video? A clause definition goes like this. A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. That's important. If it doesn't have a subject and a verb, then it is not a clause. I always get asked the question, how do you know when a clause ends? Well, basically, a clause includes the subject and the verb, but it also needs to include any objects, and it needs to include any modifiers of the subject or verb or the objects. So we have to pay attention. We'll talk about this when we go through examples. When we talk about clauses, we can break them into two basic categories. We have independent clauses, and we have dependent clauses. As we're going to find out soon, independent clauses, there's only one kind. On the other hand, dependent clauses, which are also called subordinate clauses, come in three varieties. We have adjective clauses, we have adverb clauses, and we have noun clauses, and we will look at each one of them individually. Finally, this is Twiggy sleeping after having eaten a pterodactyl. She's exhausted. Do you see how tired she is? Oh my goodness. All right, that's all we have for today. Next video, we will talk about independent and dependent clauses. See you in the next video.